Okay. Some of the jurors don't seem to have wonderfully formed arguments, though, do they? Yeah, I guess. Well, let's see what we can do. We need to get these 6 people change their minds. I have to throw everything I can at them and use some very persuasive languages. Languages? Just a moment, Mr. Naruhodo. According to my book, that's not quite how it works. Huh? I thought I was going to have a tour of their icy minds with some heartwarming rhetoric about the defendant. Unfortunately, once the jurors have decided the defendant is guilty, they are unlikely to add anything to the defense says. But then, they reach their conclusion by their own reasoning, you see. Your plea will sound like excuses. In fact, will wrinkle oil on you. The more you try to persuade them, the more entrenched they may become. And what on earth are I supposed to do? Oh dear. Try slightly. What have I learned about... I've read about British law, Mr. Naruhodo. Right, I'm sorry. Do you have any idea how to make this work? No, nobody knows. The key of this procedure is using the jurors' own words to make your argument. Seems alright. What do you mean? Well, the 6 members of jury are randomly selected members of the public. May appear to present a united front, but the truth is, they're complete strangers who just happen to find themselves here in the courtroom together. That's the way to break them down, you mean? Yes, exactly. Okay, so a little bit far-fetched, but yes. We must listen very carefully to what each member of the jury says, and see if we can identify any contradiction statements. If we can, we then contrast this statement and pit the corresponding jurors against each other. I see, so it's contradiction, but 2 or more jurors says what we are looking for. In a way then, it is similar to a regular cross-examination. Oh, yes, I suppose you're right. No, it's not whiskey, don't worry. Find contradiction in their statement and pit the jurors against one another to break them down. Alright, I might be able to pull this off. No, that's not right. I have to pull this off. Yeah, you have to. Good luck, buddy. Yeah, whatever. Without proceeding, counsel, I will ask you today to stand for this. I'm expecting a clear and concise rebuttal. I feel like my green screen is not in position. Yes, my lord. It's not as if you can see my face. Ouch. I'm gonna say, because I'm very confused on what I'm supposed to do. So I have to use their own words against them? Or something like that? Or something like that. Anyway, check this out. There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to be him. We trust the driver, he has an excellent memory, seems 4 passengers with fares totally 20 pence. I have to pit? There's no one else inside the carriage at the time. Oh. Do I press? I'm very confused at what I'm supposed to do. Hold it! Certainly the testimony we heard suggests the victim and Mr. McGill were alone inside the carriage. Precisely my point. But what? Could there be some other explanation? Something we haven't considered yet? Such as? God damn it. Well, perhaps something we could work out together now? Now listen here, maybe you don't know how things work around here because you are from a foreign climes, but we are here from a form of our opinions as individual, and I have. Oh dear, he doesn't appear in your mood to consider an alternative point of view, does he? No, I'm going to have to pit the jurors against another, like Susato-san said. How? And guess me, find a contradiction to the 6 people's assertion, the only way I'm going to succeed. So I have to pit them, like, yeah, how? Someone else. He's stuck chair next to him just like this. I must say absolute reason. Yeah, simply type of anything else. Fair is our motto. General risk price about 4 pence. Yes. I'm gonna pick her with him.
Objection!
The two statements clearly contradict each other. They do? Explain yourself, Counsel. Me? Oh dear, what I have said. As well as Silver Blade's main name, I haven't the first idea what you're talking about. According to the group testimony we heard so far, there were 4 passengers on the omnibus on the night in question. And according to the coachman, Mr. Beeble, he took 20 pence in fares. Quite right, I have those precise details typed neatly here in front of me. Okay. Jurors number 5 also told us the following. The fare for the omnibus is always 4 pence. That is a fair and convenient single price, just the way London carriages should be operated. But that doesn't add up at all. In fact, he leaves a glaring discrepancy in the facts. Why, man, why? 4 passengers pay 4 pence each. If you do the multiplication, it will be 16 pence. Exactly, as I said, it doesn't add up. The figures are different. By 4 pence, in fact. Or precisely 1 person fare. 1 person fare? Yes. In other words, on the omnibus that night is distinctly possible. There was another passenger we heard nothing about. Good gracious. This can't be right. The coachman of the guild are a good, honest man. One had all trustworthiness in our watchword. The figures of your coachman claims must certainly do not add up. Your watchword, good sir, is a fallacy. I beg your pardon? Mr. Guildmaster, I think you ought to consider that if this trial were to end now, the news will surely spread all over London. The news that one of your coachmen tried to hide the fact that he lets nefarious character ride his moments. Alright then, how do I make this to the miserable trial doesn't end, huh? Well, according to my book here, you simply launch a ball of fire into an innocent side and settle skill. Now hold your horses there, coachman. We were all in agreement. Why do you have to go and... Wait till I get my hands on you, Beppo! Change idea. That's... it's all very irritating. Begging your pardon, sir. I'm going to do the same. Because that basically means there is actually someone else. For the love of Mike, not you as well. A penny can be difference between a smile and a tear after all. I certainly can't put my trust in someone who doesn't follow my exacting stance in financial matters. Oh really? I for one think it's only proper that we hear from the witness again. Yes! You did it! If you can manage to change to more jurors' mind, you can force the trial to continue. So more, huh? Actually, I have absolutely no idea. There is something else that's bothering me about a couple of their assertion. It's where you must strike next. I need to pit 2 more jurors against each other. Make sure there's another contradiction in their assertion. Exactly. You can do it. I have a hard time actually didn't figure out. Well, the scale just have shifted, but they're still way heavy on the side of guilt. Counsel, you have the floor again. Continue with your summation examination. Changing my leaning to innocent, I should like to hear what the slipshod book here has to say for us. Stuck chair next to him just like this, breads and say absolute pleasing. I have simply typed the collateral statement made to find the chronological conclusion. Doesn't mean anything. Bebo, she said I was going to I can get at the bottom of this corruption. Not guilty, I say. The scoundrel stabbed your poor man on the floor, he beggars belief. So I'm gonna pit her with him because of the
Objection!
Of the two statements are completely contradictory. One is this is why I like sorry. My understanding is like they saw that he was thrown on the floor and then stabbed, but he was not ever on the floor. There am I was only naked jumper for my other half. There's all this claptrap. Does the contradictory ever mean, I ask you? We heard from more with the one witness that they allegedly saw the actual moment when the defendant stabbed the victim. Now, out of curiosity, juror number 3. What? Can you see I'm busy here? How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim? What sort of motion was it? Huh. Want to test me, do you? It was like this. Stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. Just like a prima banker say. Yes, was what Mr. Fairley played. Testimony quite true. Now then, juror number 6. That's me, is it? What can I do for you, young man? How could you say the defendant stabbed the victim, madam? Oh well, dear, as far as I understand it, it was like this. He stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor. The coachman says so. No, you know, now don't move. Take a look at these 2 jurors. He stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. And he stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor. Well, I never... They are. They're stabbing in totally different directions. What? Bless my stitches. What a muddle. Yes, indeed. What is that, lass? Is that there is a strong possibility one of the witnesses isn't telling the truth. Oh. But why? Why the dickens would they lie? I don't know that yet, but what I do know, that if the trial ends this point, we may never find out. We may never know the real truth. Ladies and gentlemen of the juror, you really let that happen? You know, good consciousness? Lies, you say? Oh dear me. Ahoy! Gotta buy the about people telling lies! Yes. The scales have been balanced. I don't believe it. Wait. Now hear this, my soldiers. I warn you, you cannot listen to this man. Look at him, he's in black suit. He's clearly some devious acts and sorcerer using magic on all us. Could you imagine? You really think I'm putting myself through all this? Answer me this, dark jinx. Me? What exactly is the problem? What if, what of it 2 witnesses have slightly different recollection of events? What of it? Let's say the Shylock did stab the victim as he was out next to him on the omnibus, and his young dandy saw him do it. And now let's say the victim collapsed on the floor and then the Shylock stabbed him again. His old lady saw him too do it. Well, that's to say it didn't happen like that, huh? Why are you calling attending, sir? Why should I take this knife to you? Why are you calling old? Why should I take this needle to you? You're ready to kill each other now. But could the foreman of the jury be right? Did the 2 witnesses see 2 different moments of the same crime? Without the question, there's no blood on the floor. Unfortunately, Mr. Foreman. What is that, Archie? Come on, out of it. What you're suggesting is impossible. It's out of the question. You say so? I don't know. What? What you're talking about, man? How can you possibly say that? You realize that I'm only doing my job. As a foreman of the jury, I have responsibility to steer everyone in the right direction. So where are your evidence, man? What do you want to see? So the witness saw 2 different moments of the same crime. You say that's out of the question. Show me some proof. It looks like the only way I'm going to convince him is to present him with something he cannot dismiss. A picture? Some irrefutable hard evidence. As you wish. What? I'll give you the proof. It's out of the question. The 2 witnesses saw the same thing. Why you have to bring it up back? It is a clear answer, Mr. Foreman. But what? You know what I'm saying about, young man? They say I got power of persuasion. I see. I'm sorry to hear that. What? 2 different moments. In other words, the victim was stabbed 4 times. And it's a clear contradicts the possibility. Allow me.
Take that!
The victim autopsy report, according to what was written, Mr. Mason was stabbed in the abdomen only once. Only once? It's quite simple. The victim was stabbed precisely 1 time. Well, I thought basically because you couldn't, like, what's the point of stabbing him twice then move the body? Which means these witnesses can possibly have seen it happen 2 different times. Jurg. Alright, I can see defeat. Wait, that means 4 jurors are now leaning on to non-guilty. Well done, Mr. Naruhodo. We won! Well, not really. What are you playing at, you dandy fool? Shut out your traps, sir. No one deceives me. We had a consensus. I say shut your trap. I know a liar when I see one. And if the chap ever dares to cross the threshold of my shop, I'll take this threshold sharp blade and shave every last hair of his head. Please tell me he's a barber. Well, in a quite remarkable turn of events, the defense summation examination has flipped the balance of the scale of justice. The jurors now stand 2 for guilty and 4 for not guilty. Accordingly, there is no longer a large enough majority among the jury for me to adjudicate, and the trial must continue. Hereby ask the defense, prosecution, and witness to return to their places. Call upon all you continue to pursue the truth. The truth and only truth. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So, Lord Van Zisk, continue to sustain the case for the prosecution, if you please. Okay, take your time. You want to sniff it too? No? Huh? Okay, just crush it. Just crush the glass. Have you ever to reach a room of the coming control to his hallowed callous? It may seem crass to crush it to dust. Pray forgive the discourtesy. Lovanzisk. I called in here, or it's just me? As your antiquated tone no doubt says, the prosecution may not speak during our summation examination. So I honored our deadly silence and listen to the charade. See my overestimated intelligence of the jury. Ouch, ouch. Well, no matter. There is nothing so hard to prove as self-evident truth, you will see. No, and why else will we grace the courtroom with our presence after all? So, let us proceed to the next round of battle. Round 2! Bring forward the witness once more! Round 2, fight! Witness, I trust you heard the summation examination we have just had to endure. Yes, sir. That I did, sir. Of course I heard it. Oh, yes, sir, I heard it. I think... sir, on the end of the coach, I believe is baffling. Yes, sir, my lord, sir. Is it transpired that you previously, in your previous testimony, you attempted to reveal the presence of a fifth passenger on your omnibus? To be found guilty of perjury, you had to advise to bear that in mind, sir. Oh mio Dio. Oh mio Dio. Oh my God. Now then, witnesses, I hereby call on you to testify before the court again. That's the Italian, by the way. You will explain the various misgiving brought to our... It's not Latin because it will be deux. Attention to by the defense summation examination. And it's not Spanish because it will say muse. By chance, Bipo is Italian. I only carry 4 passengers and I swear, but how do you find the other 4 pence? Well, for one, as I told, I had to pay 5 pence for the bus. Well, I for one was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus. He filled us on the fare, he did, and then I saw the clock girl inside as well. It's all too much. Hey, what? I tell you, I saw Mr. McGill stabbing that man, everything I said before stands. Oh yes, he stabbed him. Yes, he did, I think so, yes. Counsel, make sense of this for me, please. The band of passenger conjured into existence by my learned Eastern friend never existed. The confusion has arisen from a coachman still is like cousinage. People, explain yourself. Terribly sorry, Mr. Guildmaster. Bill's fare is 4 pence across the board, and you know that. I'm to understand, you've been overcharging our passengers by a penny a fare? It's cold, and last run the day is always half empty. I have been dishonest, coachman. I'm sorry. A disgrace, people, a disgrace. Your selfish action have brought dishonor on the entire guild. If I may, sir, I had to pay 10 pence on the bus just last week. What? 4 passengers at 5 pence each is, yes, 20 pence. Yeah. I've done the arithmetic 10 times already, but I can't just make the result come out differently. No, that figures. Well, it will appear that one of the aforementioned misgiving has already been explained. So, counsel for the defense, your cross-examination, if you please. I already had the pleasure of a protracted summation examination today. I see you intend to continue to power those games. Absolutely. I only carry 4 buzzers at night, that's weird, but well, gonna press that. Well, for one, that was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus. He feed us on the fare, he did, and then I saw the ball car inside as well, it's all too much. I tell you, because stabbing that man, everything else had to go. Oh, yes, stabbing, yes, I think so, yes. Kinda harsh. Very harsh, very harsh.
Hold it!
So there's only 4 passenger carriage, but you didn't change them at the standard 4 pence fare. Is that right? It's impossible to make the last round today pay. I was so cold, all I could do was to stop myself passing out. I'm getting chill blames just telling you to. It was terrible, so I wanted to give myself a pat on the back or even keeping the bus running. Does it think I could you deserve an extra penny per passenger? You're digging a deeper hole in yourself here. Only there had been a 5th passenger down almost that night. And we will have had another suspect. For one, I was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus.
Hold it!
Does that mean everyone on the boat that night paid 5 pence instead of 4? Well, I paid 5 pence too, sir. I just told you that I did. Flat fare of 5 pence across the board. That doesn't help much. Not something to be proud of. The so-called discrepancy my learned friend identified was nothing of the sort. Much like the phantom killer, you so desperately needed is gone, dead and buried. After being happy if I had never existed in the first place. He did.
Hold it!
You say 2 things. There's blood curling inside. You mean the murder, I presume? Yes, sir. A lot on sight. No one should have to witness the horror in the eyes of a man the moment his life is taken. Oh well, not exactly, sir. I mean, I didn't actually see the exact moment the gent was stabbed. Good gracious, really? We have another witness who did, however. The banker has already testified to it. But Mr. First, you didn't actually see the point at which the victim was killed. That may turn out to be very significant. Heard the banker gent next to me take a shot and take breath, see what's when I looked through the box. That's what when I saw the horrible blade poking out from his belly, all covered in blood. Every time I see a knife now, I can't help screaming, even when I'm eating.
Hold it!
So you saw the defendant, Mr. McGill, stabbing the victim, Mr. Manson, who was sitting next to him. That's what I say, isn't it? It's bothering me before this was. For just a brief moment, he hesitated before answering the question. Anyway, there was only 2 of them inside the carriage, wasn't there? There'd been much talk of 5th passenger, but he had 0 evidence. Then with that, are we wasting our times for? It's black and white. The man is guilty. Something about fair play testing just jars for me. I wish I could work out what it is. Yeah, me too. Tell them me can't stabbing that man everything I saw before stand. Yeah, but what I should... His portfolio must contain all sorts of secret on the entry. I feel like we're gonna find the banker's name. Do you think we're going to look inside? Well, this is not all we know. Blonde gentry personally, isn't it? Apart from the detective, perhaps? Naturally, you wonder. I'm sure we'll not find Mr. Sholmes' name inside. Well, let's see what we find. Ahoy! As if I can do it. Fuck that. Gosh, it's kind of full of gentleman's name, is it? But I suppose they're probably not all gentlemen out there. After all, not everyone in this country is well off. Goodness, what is it? Look at this! Do you see the name here? Bruce Fairplay. Should that mean something to me? It does sound stranger for me, actually. The witness test me at this very moment. Oh yes, of course. The banker. Why is his name here? He borrowed 20 guinea, did he? Their payment date is fast approaching. I suppose that is just coincidence, of course, but this could be very useful information. Yeah. So should I present this?
Objection!
Too soon, too soon. Too soon! Too soon! Too soon! Too soon! No, wait. Did I present the correct thing? I think I present the wrong thing. No, yes, too soon. I present this. Among the vendors, favorite will have been the replacement.
Hold it!
Earlier, you testified that what you saw at the moment when the defender allegedly stabbed the victim, didn't you? Yes, that's right. You said that the victim was on the floor and described as Ellen holding a knife in an ice-picking grip. I suppose. I might have, you know, yes. Put the car before the horse, maybe. What is? Well, I'm quite sure about most of it. I was driving the horse when I heard a scream from the seat of the roof there. Oh, I expect that was me, sir. That's when I turned around. Yeah, I saw it through the skylight. The gentleman was on the floor. The knife was sticking out of his midriff. That's right, yes. The fellow holding the handle was a famous man, yes. So in short, you didn't see the moment when the victim was actually stabbed at all. Well, of course not, I feel like. I really thought that I did, but when I go over it again in my head, no, I suppose I didn't actually see the person. Stab it, did I? How did I do that? Look around. Pursue.
Excuse me!
You have something to say about that, Mr. Feldman? Now you listen me. I know what you are thinking. What are you thinking? He didn't really say the sad moment the fellow was stabbed. What are the chances of that? Huh? Are you asking me or telling me? He's getting flustered. Yes, he is. Might be able to extract some new information from him if I answer him cleverly. Or if it just happened to see the exact moment the crime was committed. Some days are like that. Could he have just happened to see the exact moment the crime was committed? Not a chance? I wanna say not a chance. The reason why, because I believe he was not paying attention to the downright. Well, it is a little hard to believe, certainly. Unless you spend your time peeping through the skylight on top of an omnibus, that is. Peeping? I'm a respectable city banker, have you? I know what I saw. I remember this clear Ballarat day. It was a grim scene, I don't mind telling you. Thank you, Mr. Fairplay. Oh, excuse me if I was getting a little hot under the collar there, my lord. I will ask you to supplant your testimony with a clear statement about what exactly you saw. No, I can do that, alright. I thought you just how grim I was. You think I forget the sight of those blood soaking hands after that butcher stabbed me? That's it? Press.
Hold it!
Blood soaked. Well, perhaps soaked is laying a little thick. But anyway, there was definitely blood all over them. Both of them were covered in it. Okay, he fucked it up. Well, the skylight is reasonably large, so I had a pretty good view. And there was a lamp beside the garden as well. I'm quite sure what I saw. Speculated statement. The village shows something's not quite right about it. Okay. Yeah, whatever. I'll go to this right here and come to us. I want to mention well. Is this the... Is that the dinghy? I think. Okay, no, it's the dinghy. I think it's the dinghy. Yeah, it's the dinghy. Yeah, it's the dinghy. Damn, son. Where'd you find this? Damn, son. Where'd you find this? Blood-soaked hands. Well, I admit soaked might be lying into a little thick, but anyway, there was definitely blood all over them. Both of them were covered in it. Well, I'm very sorry to disagree, Mr. Fairplay, but that's more than a little peculiar. What? Here are the gloves worn by the defendants, Mr. Milgard, on the knife in question. Oh yes, right. And there certainly does appear to be sizable dark color stains in here, but as I'm sure you can clearly see, there's only one with the right-hand glove. Sure, Mr. Fairplay, your testimony is inconsistent. Yeah, but no, that can't be right. You are the liar then. That's right, you were quite clear about it. You said, yeah, it was my both hands. Mr. Fairplay, if your last statement was a lie, calls your entire testimony into question. Say you saw the moment the victim was stabbed, but it was really the truth?
Objection!
It was a simple mistake. You can't justify accusing this man of lying. Well, I can, because this bitch has a lord. No, but it was only one. What's the difference? The victim blood was on the accused.
Objection!
Oh, Mr. Fairplay stated that he was all over her hand, which means there's a strong possibility that this witness was deliberately trying to mislead the court. Gag? Why, my city banker? For pity's sake, my word should be a gold standard. Oh, gentlemen, not some gutter snipe. Upstanding member of society don't perfect heartbreak. Remy don't have no reason to lie. He has plenty of reason to lie. Was really the case? No, I know that. Where he discovered from the 20 guineas he owes these poor bastards. Okay, I missed some part. Something showed this man has a complete reason to lie in his testimony. Have it? My lord? Yes, consul? The defense is ready to present evidence. By Jove! Are you sure? Yes, evidence that will clearly demonstrate why Mr. Fairplay had reason to lie in his testimony. Gog. Very well. I hereby call the defense present its evidence. The evidence that demonstrates the motive.
Take that!
This is a list of the debtors who owe money to Mr. McGilded. Yes, a list of innocent victims crippled by the accused's extortion. The point is, among these names of these debtors is your name, Mr. Bruce Fairplay. What? Mr. Fairplay, are you currently in debt financially to the accused? No. Well, it's barely worthy of being called a debt. According to this ledger, you owe 20 guineas, not an inconsiderable sum of money, wouldn't you say? What of it? Let's suppose Mr. Gilder were to be found guilty of murder. That will become your debt in that case. What will become of your debt in that case? Zero, right? This document states that loan agreement is forged between two individual parties. Therefore, were the creditor the defendant here to be sentenced to a capital punishment, all outstanding debts which were owed to him will be annulled, which cease to exist. Cease to exist? Mr. Fairplay? It is not the case that you claim in your testimony to have been seeing something you never in fact saw. Now, this is a attempt to annul your debt for 20 guineas to the defendant. Mr. Bruce Fairplay? Yes, my... Let me ask you again. And be aware that your answer may have most serious implication upon your future, sir. Did you or did you not see the precise moment in time at which the defendant is alleged to have thrust a knife into the victim? Your silence speaks volumes. You did not tell the truth in your testimony. Alright, now let's not make a melodrama out of this. Perhaps I did overstate the truth a pinch. Pinch? But it makes no difference. I definitely remember seeing blood on McGuile's hands, both of them.
Objection!
And yet only one of these defender gloves, which we have here as evidence, is stained. So you keep saying... I wonder if I might be allowed to speak, sir. Go ahead, Mr. First. Well, the thing is, I think I remember seeing it myself as it happens. Seeing what? The blood, sir, on the assailant's hands. I think, yes. I'm almost sure that it was on both his hands, not just one. What? Nani? Nandato? It will appear that we are going to need further testimony from all your witnesses. This time I would like to know precisely what you did and what you did not see. To make myself perfectly clear. Yarks. Mr. Naruhodo, this is good news. The course of the trial seems to have shifted slightly at last. Yes. I might finally have a chance to turn things around here. But everything's gonna escalate like 10 times fold. There was blood on both hands of the assailant Sicily and distinctly remembered that. However, I suppose you might say that I didn't see the exact moment the stabbing transpired, if that matters. I remember seeing the knife, and I remember seeing both of the attackers' hands with both blood on them. I didn't actually see anything myself, no, not until I heard that scream. Anyway, the fact remains, there can't have been anyone else inside the carriage, or we would have seen it. Quite the situation. Well, behold. In truth of fact, not one of you was witness to the crucial moment the crime was perpetrated. I apologize, my lord, but honestly, there was no one else inside the carriage, and the man's hands were covered in blood. That much incriminating evidence is tantamount to saying we saw the man to do it. That's really not what testimony is about. I'd examine the interior of the omnibus once more. Yeah. The victim fresh blood is clearly visible on the seat or the witness accounts. In other words, there is no substantial, no significant change in the facts of the case. Very well. The articles in nomination, please, counsel. Yes, my lord. There was blood on both hands of the side. It surely had the same one. However, I suppose you might say I didn't see this happen. Press!
Hold it!
And I'm not sure. Don't try to downplay this. I know you didn't shoot shit. Whatever you saw the exact moment of the crime. It's a matter of fundamental principle, as well as you know. But, crying out loud, we all know that no one else could possibly have done it. I was just gonna save after all some time. How long when the game is outstanding with the bundle you do not. How you hope to release yourself from the financial burden by ensuring that the defendant was found guilty? I don't know. That's not entirely not what I was hoping for. Just a little guinea old Dan. That background the house into the urban, that's all. I was going to win all the back. There's a picture we can ensure of the thing. The guinea of the hand. A banker, no one bats an eye if I borrow a little spending money for the weekend. Oh. I think you may have really read more about your character than you bargained for, sir. These witness scruples are not in trial here. Proceed to the next witness. Is that really how it's supposed to work?
Hold it!
You definitely saw that too, blood on both hands. Yes, sir. I mean, I know what you are going to say. Only one of Mr. Gloves has assigned blood on it. That's right. The thing is, as far as I remember, sir, when I looked down I saw Mr. Mikai sitting beside the other fellow. I don't believe he was wearing any gloves, sir. He wasn't wearing these gloves? That's correct, sir. And I saw the blood on both his bare hands quite clearly. It's true that the dark color stain on the dark leather gloves wouldn't be easy to see. Should point out that the police officer who apprehended the accused on the night in question reported that there was no trace of blood on Mr. McGill's gloves and there wasn't blood on his hands? This is puzzling indeed. This must be significant somehow, I'm sure of it. Can't actually see anything myself. No, not until I heard the scream. Anyway, the fact remains there can't have been anyone else.
Hold it!
Hush, everything you saw on the incident was from the skylight roof of the office. That's right, I was fiercely cold that night, but the glass wasn't frosted over. Oh yes, I remember I was shivering. It was so bitter. It rather begs the question of why the pair of you were sitting on the roof deck in the first place. I don't know about this young fellow, but I couldn't enter the cabin. Oh, why not? It was locked from the inside. I tried knocking, but no one opened the door. It was locked? That's right, and sparking bus service. For pity's sake, that's not what I call fair play. Yes, I had exactly the same experience. I tried knocking, but the gent inside just gestured me to clear off. So I had no choice but to climb up the roof deck and look down longingly into a warm cabin. But I can assure you I wasn't just looking down. I was glaring long and hard. That's precisely why I can tell you with absolute confidence that if there was anyone else in all at all in that cabin, I will have notice. Unequivocally, I would say. I'm not sure about these two witnesses. Could they really have seen everything inside the cabin? Just kind of. Now me to confirm one thing, Mr. Fairplay. You were riding the omnibus, right? And witnessed the events in the cabin through the skylight in front of the door upper deck, is that right? That's right, yes. In that case, there is a portion of the cabin interior that will have been out of sight from you. What? By golly, really? Obviously, at this stage we can't say for sure. But the possibility cannot be denied. At the time of the incident, there could have been another passenger in the enclosed cabin.
Objection!
Enough hypothetical remindering, my Nipponese friend. The prosecution demands that you sustain your claims. After all, the scene of the crime is here in the flesh. Very well, then we uphold the prosecution demand. You will identify the ironies across a sectional part of the omnibus, where you cannot see.
Take that!
4 hours seated for roof-facing direction of travel. Whereas the seats in the closed cabin face each other, which means the visible part of the cabin which passenger of the roof deck can see through the skylight. Is everything wrong here? Huh? Okay, that took a while. Not at all, I just can't see. The seat opposite the one which after the victim and his attacker were sitting obscure from view. In other words, if someone had been sitting on that seat, it's quite possible that these witnesses will have been completely unaware of it. Gargoyle.
Objection!
It is quite possible some phantom was sitting there. The only bodies have a forbidding habit of obscuring the truth with ambiguity. I concur with the prosecutor enjoying the British Code of Law, evidence power. I have a strong feeling. I cannot entertain this conjecture, counsel. That is, unless you are able to put a name to this mysterious passenger to whom you allude. Can you, Mr. Naruhodo? I honestly don't know who could have been. Who could have been the other seat which have... Well, actually, someone with a small stature, that's for sure. Maybe a child? Wait, actually, do we have any? Correct, right. So, I have a feeling, if I'm not wrong, okay, there's blood even there. No, actually, no. That was what I wanted to know. This handle, it seems, yeah, as I felt. I had a suspicion there was gonna be a storage unit inside. So it looks like some sort of equipment that might be keeping the omnibus running. There was a repair, a bouncer, a storage compartment, the coach meant to be things the same. There doesn't seem to be any space for batteries, so their luggage, that's for sure. Well, the immediately will be very convenient for that purpose anyway. Okay, this is gold information. Oh, it's the only one. Yeah, I had the feeling there was one. Oh wait. No, I don't know. It's like there's something weird. If what he says is true, this compartment there could have been the other seat which out of sight from the witness. Could have been the other seat. Ooh, I don't know. I have no idea. I have literally no idea. But I was proud sitting over this Japanese empire. You will look at the sky and walk home, making sure all signs here are gone. God fucking damn it! Is it just a case of Koyomi Susato? Alright then, I guess I'll double nothing. I'll go on. Defense would like to put forward a name. A name? Really? You are a fool. The response was desperate, attended by a man who was no notion of his own limitations. A toast to her lesson not yet learned. Let us not delay, counsel. The defense is still took the name passenger. I don't know. This could be it. This could be the chance I've been waiting for to turn the trial in my favor. On that night, on the night of the murder, the person occupied the seat at the omnibus cabin that was fuel from views was.
Take that!
It must be him. The partially enclosed cabin that the witness on the roof deck failed to see. Has to be Mr. Magnus McGilded. Mr. McGilded? What are you talking about, counsel? That's the name of the defendant.
Objection!
YOLO, this on fire. How pure alcohol it has to be made to actually burst in fire? Okay, I desecrate this chamber by smashing my hallowed callous to forgive the discourtesy. Lord Van Zisk. People talk to those tiny island nations of the Far East as having learning a culture of their own, but I see they use the terms ill-advisedly. What are you trying to say, bitch alloyed? Let me explain in terms that even students of our artless backwater such as yourself may understand. Backwater. When a bloody scene unfolds, the victim and his assailant were sitting side by side. Multiple witnesses have attested to that fact. It's the very premise on which this case is built. But that premise may be wrong. What? If the victim really was sitting beside Mr. McGilded, it creates an inconsistency that can be reconciled in any way. What inconsistency, counsel? The defendant's glove, my lord. All witnesses made the same testimony. They claimed that there was blood on both hands of the person sitting next to the victim.
Objection!
Yet we know the truth, or to be otherwise only one glove bears the gory remains.
Objection!
The point is, even in the face of this irrefutable evidence, both witnesses have maintained their stance. Yes, the testimony remains unchanged. Exactly, they both adamantly swear that they clearly remember seeing blood on both hands of the assailant. In short, their memory of events is correct, and their testimony reveals the truth. It was somebody else sitting beside the victim that night, a third party we have yet to identify, and the victim's blood was on the passenger hands both of them.
Objection!
Who was this third party? That's what I'd like to discover. Obviously the true culprit. Extraordinary! Okay. It's gonna take a while, isn't it? What exactly are you both leading? No.
Objection!
The defense postulation just that nothing more than conjecture. The witnesses have clearly stated that they saw the accused. No one elaborating on this testimony. Mr. Fairplay said the two of them were wearing hats, and I couldn't exactly make out their faces. Yes. The doubles their hats were obscured by the roof. I could see the rest of them though. Yes, that's right, both gents were most certainly hatted. Hatters don't tend to notice such things, sir. What particular styles of hat do the two gentlemen sport, Mr. First? I'm afraid I don't remember. You call yourself a hatter? The style of the hair makes no difference. There was no third passenger in that cabin. How can you be so sure? Because if there had been, the accused Mr. McGuire would undoubtedly have been offered to depose the fact. Unless, that is, you are proposing even more preposterous explanation. That the accused failed even to notice the presence of the true culprit in the very cabin in which he travelled. He's right. If there was another person travelling the enclosed cabin of the omnibus, it's conceivable that Mr. Gilded would have been unaware of it. Ora! There is clearly a simple solution to this problem. Bring the accused, Mr. McGilded, to the stand. Well, what you say, your counsel? The prosecution objects, my lord. On what ground? I suspect that he will have already made a full testament to the police. But But if there's some reason why he was unable to speak freely? Unless McGilda is not an uneducated ruffian. If it is indeed turns out the man has been withholding information, you can be sure it will have been a most deliberate act. Counsel for the defense, what is your opinion? My lord? We ask Mr. Gardner to testify. Given his testimony? Yes, we need to hear what he has to say in order to find out the truth. The defense would like to call Mr. Megalda to the stand. In that case, I would like to hear the opinion of the jury. Yes, I needed the time to consider this. You asked me, I think we should hear that what Miss Megalda has to say. Get the man out of there, is he? I will be utterly logical not to hear his testimony first. When somebody needs doing, get it done, and how I'm running things out of guilt. Hearing what a partner of my favorite little park has to say. Oh yes, that will be lovely. Yes, the jury has the man must be heard. Very well, you call will hear the defendant's testimony. Balif, show me the defendant to the stand at once. Now, maybe what actually happened that night will finally become clear. The proceeding be resumed. Mr. McGiggle, have you been listening to the discourse of the day? To be sure, I have, my lord. There are now two matters on which the court decided to hear from you. The first is whether or not there was a third party in with you in the omnibus bus cabin and proposed by the defense. The second is that if such person was indeed present, why did you conceal the fact from the police? By God, no. It's not my nature to hide anything at all. Let's answer the question, please. The truth of the matter is, I've been desperate about this all along. Do I tell you all? Keep me mouth shut? Tell us what, Mr. Begilded. The fine fellow representing me is absolutely right. In the carriage of the night with myself and the other man, there was another passenger. It's true. Aye, and those who helped the little urchin get away after all happened. You what? Wait, what? No, man, to make it that convenient excuse can't save you now. So sorry I am, Lord Van Zisk. I'm sure you'll be wanting to know why I said nothing when I have taken Interpol by the police. But you'll be having a very good reason, I assure you. Which was? Well, the little child was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. You're not in any way involved, you see. What? If the police had known that one was there, they have assumed she done it. They have hauled her into his mail courtroom, just like myself. Will only try to spare her that. Young heads and young minds are easily damaged, my lord. What? Who was this young child when you speak? That I don't know. You don't know? Aye, well, the waiting just happened to be in the carriage tonight. I saw her before.
Objection!
I have absolutely no reason to believe this man. The prosecution called for the witness testament to be discarded by the court. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if the urchin isn't here in this courtroom as we speak, listening to proceedings. What? Smoke? Ah, fire! There's fire! Look, someone try to get away! Catch! It's no use! What is going on? Be careful, Mr. Naruhodo. Cover your face. Ralph, don't let accused escape! Secure the omnibus! If I call to her emergency, be sure the defender is causing clear courtroom. What the hell? We hurried moved from the smoke-filled courtroom by the bailiff. Made scenes of chaos as people stumbled over and others their desperation to flee the chamber. No idea what happened. Well, we knew that. For the time being, at least the trial was suspended. Someone died. I'm not sure who. And I notice some very familiar hair. I hope this is not what I think it is. As usual, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna end the episode right now, right here. Hope you have a lovely day, and see you very soon.